Hey there, it's Mike with ChemiCloud here with another great video. Welcome to part 2 in our video series on WHMCS. In this video, we'll be covering how to configure the general settings in WHMCS. Before we get too far, I'd like to mention that in order to install and run WHMCS, you will need a WHMCS license. If you are a ChemiCloud customer, we've got you covered. We offer a free WHMCS license with our expand or established reseller hosting plans. Now, with that out of the way, let's begin. First, I'm going to go ahead and open my WHMCS. Once that's open, I'm going to click the wrench in the top right corner, and in the little menu that appears, click System Settings. On the System Settings page, click General Settings. Once the General Settings load, you'll notice that there's a row of 12 tabs at the top of this page. As there are settings to change on each of these tabs, we'll be reviewing them one at a time. First, the General Settings. On this tab, you will want to configure the following settings. Company name. Enter the name of your company in this field. Email address. Ensure the address you enter here is the one you want to appear when WHMCS sends an email from the system to your customer. Domain. Enter the domain and URL to your business's homepage here. Logo URL. Here you will enter the full URL to your company logo if you want it to be displayed in email messages sent from WHMCS. If you don't have a logo yet, you can leave this blank. Pay to text. Enter the information that corresponds to where customers should send payments. This information is displayed on invoices generated by WHMCS. Once you've entered this information, click Save Changes at the bottom of the page. Now go back to the row of tabs at the top and click Localization. On this tab, you'll want to change the following settings. Global Date Format. Set the way that you prefer dates to be displayed here. Client Date Format. Here you can set the way the date will appear to be different from the way that the global date appears, if you wish, or you can have it be the global date. Default Country. Here, set the country in which your business is located. And lastly, set the default language. Out of the box, the selection is English. If you make any changes to this page, click Save Changes. Now go back to the row of tabs at the top and click Ordering. On the Ordering tab, you'll want to configure the following settings. For Order Days Grace, enter the number of days to allow for payment before an order becomes overdue. For Default Order Form Template, choose your preferred layout for the customer's order form. If you require customers to agree to your terms of service before they can place an order, you will want to tick the checkbox next to this option. Please note, if you do, you'll need to enter the URL to your terms of service page, which is the field located right below. Lastly, you should configure the auto redirect on checkout option to your preference. The default is to automatically forward the customer to the payment gateway once they click checkout, but you may prefer another flow. Once you've entered this information, click Save Changes. Now return to the row of tabs at the top and click Domains. There are a number of important settings on the Domains page, so we'll need to be thorough here. These are especially important if you are opting to sell domain names via your WHMCS. First, review the 3 domain registration options and tick or untick the boxes as you see fit. Next, tick or untick the box for Enable Renewal Orders if you want or don't want to show the domain renewals cart category and allow clients to place renewal orders early. For auto renew on payment, tick this box if you want to automatically renew domains when they are set to a supported registrar when the customer pays for a renewal. For auto renew on payment, tick this box if you want to automatically renew domains which are set to a supported registrar when the customer pays for the renewal. Next, look at the Auto Renew Requires product and tick or untick this box if you want or don't want customers to be able to renew domains unless they have an associated product. This option can be helpful if you don't plan on acting as a registrar and don't want customers to be able to register domains without buying hosting to go with it. Up next is the default auto renewal setting. When enabled, this option will generate invoices automatically for expiring domains and prompt the customer to renew them before their final expiration. If you don't want to nag customers about their expiring domains and set invoices automatically for this, you can opt out and handle that manually. Another important setting to review is the Allow IDN domains. Some people prefer not to host international domains and want English-only domains, and if you're one of those people, that's fine. You can opt out of allowing international domains by unticking this box. Next, let's look at the Name Servers section. When customers buy domain names from you, if you want the domain's name servers to be automatically set to your hosting business's name servers, you'll need to enter the name servers that go with your hosting business here. Lastly, on this page, if you manage domains registered by customers on their behalf, you can opt to have your information entered here for the billing, admin, and tech contacts for those domains. Once you've entered this information, click Save Changes at the bottom of the page. Now, move back to the top of the page, and in the row of tabs at the top, click Mail. Like the Domains tab, the Mail tab contains a lot of settings you will need to configure. At ChemiCloud, we do not support PHP Mail on our servers, and regrettably, this is the default setting for WHMCS. You'll need to click the Configure Mail Provider setting and set up SMTP-based email. If you aren't familiar with setting up SMTP mail, we have an article on doing that, which I've linked for you in the video description. In addition to changing from PHP mail to SMTP mail, you'll need to set a global email signature that says something like, "Hey, thanks for choosing us. Regards, your hosting team." Finally, you'll need to set the name of the department and person and the email address from which system emails are sent here. Click Save Changes at the bottom to save any changes you've made, and then return to the row of tabs at the top and click the Support tab. The Support section controls settings related to the built-in help desk functionality of WHMCS. Most of the settings here are good to go out of the box. However, there's one setting that I'd like to call out. Service status requires login. This setting will prevent people, whether they're customers or not, from seeing if you have any network issues, assuming you plan to use the Network Issues module of WHMCS, unless they're logged in. In my opinion, people shouldn't need to sign in to see this information. However, some web hosts have proprietary information on these pages, such as the IP address or the name of the server, which can become targets for botnets and DDoS servers, so we do understand if you want to leave this setting unchecked. If you've made any changes, click Save Changes at the bottom to save those changes. Now move your cursor to the top row of options and click Invoices. The Invoices tab contains a number of settings you should review at the very least, including Enable PDF Invoices, PDF Paper Size, PDF Font Family, as well as the Automatic Subscription Management feature. And towards the bottom, Accepted Credit Card Types. WHMCS defaults to accepting a lot of credit card varieties. However, your payment gateway may not accept all of them, so be sure to select only the ones for which you can process payments. Lastly on this tab is the invoice number incrementation and invoice starting number, which can be helpful if you want to change your invoice starting numbers or invoice number incrementation to a different number. If you make any changes, be sure to click Save Changes at the bottom. Now move your cursor back to the top row of options and click the Credit tab. The Credit tab contains the settings related to store credit in customer accounts. By default, this feature is disabled. However, if you wish for your customers to be able to preload their accounts with money, you can enable this and then configure the maximum and minimum deposit amounts plus the overall maximum balance that an account can have. If you've made any changes on this page, be sure to click Save Changes at the bottom. Next, move your cursor back to the top of the page and click Affiliates. The Affiliates section controls settings related to the built-in affiliate system in WHMCS. By default, this setting is disabled, and you should carefully review the WHMCS documentation on the Affiliates module before deciding to enable this. We have put a link to the documentation in the video description. If you do decide to enable this feature, then you should set up the following fields: affiliate earning percentage, affiliate bonus amount, affiliate payout amount, affiliate commission delay, payout request department. If you've made any changes, be sure to click Save Changes to save those changes. Now move your cursor to the row of options at the top and click the Security tab. The Security tab contains some very important settings that you should review, including email verification. This will request users to confirm their email address on sign-up or if they change their email address. ReCAPTCHA. This option will protect your forms and should be enabled. You have the option to choose from a CAPTCHA that comes with WHMCS, which is the 6-character verification code, or one of the 2 Google reCAPTCHAs. Right below that, you can select where to use the CAPTCHA on which forms. Also on this tab is auto-generated password formats. This setting will generate passwords containing a combination of letters, numbers, and special characters. We recommend leaving this as the default setting for maximum security when provisioning accounts. Moving on down the page is the minimum user password strength. 50 is the default strength, but you can increase this if you want. For whitelisted IPs, enter here any IP addresses that should never be blacklisted by the invalid login attempt system. There are also deletion settings for sensitive data, such as credit card accounts and bank accounts. If you sell to customers in Europe, pay attention to these 2 settings as they relate to GDPR. Scrolling down the page, we also have the API IP access restriction. Here you can enter the IP addresses that are allowed to connect to the WHMCS API. If you made any changes, be sure to click Save Changes. Now return to the top of the page and click the Social tab. The Social section is where you will enter the information for any social media networks you have, like Discord, Twitter, and Facebook. At the bottom, click Save Changes to save any changes that you've made. Now return to the top of the page and click the Other tab. The Other tab contains settings that don't really fit in anywhere else. Most of these settings are good to go out of the box, but you should review the settings and see if you want to enable or disable them. Click Save Changes to save any changes that you've made at the bottom of the page. Congrats! Once you've configured your settings on the 12 tabs, you're good to go with WHMCS. Now, please stay with us for the next video in our series on getting started with WHMCS, where we will walk you through configuring the automation settings in WHMCS. Alright, I'd like to take a moment to thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed this tutorial, you'll probably enjoy our hosting services even more. ChemiCloud offers the best customer service in the industry, along with a fast, secure, and reliable cloud hosting platform. all backed up by 5-star public reviews from our own customers. Try us out for 45 days worry-free. We're so confident that you'll be satisfied with our services. If you're not happy, you get your money back. We look forward to bringing you more video tutorials in the coming weeks. Have a great day and be sure to subscribe to our channel.